Shalom, shalom. Giving honor and praise to the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. My name is Yeshaya Yisrael. This is Hebrew lesson number 48, entitled Conversation Review or Vocabulary Review and Conversation. All right. Now, for those who were following yesterday, you know that we went over the Hafal stem. And for those who've been following since lesson number 40, you know we've been dealing with the aspect of the PL, the Pual, the Hefil, and so forth. Those lessons are important once it comes down to the aspect of knowledge of Hebrew for edification purposes. Now, in review, I want to state, brothers and sisters, that I didn't go over, let's say, the Pei Nun or the Pei Aleph of each of those forms, because I'm giving a general synopsis of how it works, and then we'll move on from there for edification purposes. All right? So that's something I just want to point out in that particular regard. When, brothers and sisters, we get past lesson 50, we will get into the aspect of the Patreon aspect on YouTube concerning the Hebrew classes, getting deeper into the verbs itself, and getting into the aspect, brothers and sisters, of the biblical Hebrew for edification purposes. All right? Let us now say Tafila. Hallelujah. Moshienu Malchenu Eloheinu Zureinu. Tiyenaitano wa alna tishe otano. Alna tishkak otano. Tiskarenu latub be'eneka. Titain lanu et azneka. Bagam King, Bebakusha Eloheinu, Shema na watirpa watazir na e amka Yisrael. Now, as in other lessons, brothers and sisters, you may have seen already that the Hebrew is already outlined on the board. And what we're going to do is just go from there for edification purposes and put the vowels in and then the translation. All right? Now, this is going to be expounded upon in two different aspects. When I'm done with this, I'm going to erase it and then put the rest of it up. So that way we can have a better review for edification purposes. This lesson is not going to simply, no offense intended, be just 20 minutes, but we're going to sit there and keep it under an hour for attention span purposes. All right? So let's look at this. We have here, brothers and sisters, the letter He, showing the definite article. Then you have Aleph and Chet. So if you were to simply drop off the Aleph, pardon me, the He, you have the Aleph and the Chet. We already know for edification purposes that spells the word Ak. Ak means brother. So let's look. You have the word here, Ak, meaning brother. All right? Here you have Ha'ak, which means the brother. All right? Ha'ak, the brother. All right? Okay, before I put the vowels in, I want to expound upon the words that we're looking at. You have here Mem, Shin, Bet, Resh. Now, we remember from the lesson 47 that the Mem in this particular case serves as the prefix. So if you just drop that off, you have the Shin, the Bet, and the Resh. The Shin, Bet, Resh, as we've been going over since about maybe lesson number 42, 43, right? The word Shabar means to break. Now, when we're putting this in the aspect and conjugating it under the construct of the PL stem, this is when in the present tense you get the aspect of the mem prefix. All right? So let's look at it. You have ha'ak right there. Right? The mem with the aspect of the shawal, ma. All right? What are we looking at, brothers and sisters? All right? Is this here. Mishaber. Mishaber. Now, for those who've been following along in the past lessons, you know automatically this is the PL stem. Ha'ak mishaber. Now, remember, the PL is in most cases, intensification of the qual. Shabar in the qual stem, brothers and sisters, signifies the word shabar, meaning to break. So when you say shaber or shiber, if you're putting it in the aspect of its initial root in the PL, means to shatter. Now, when you sit there and conjugate this in the PL stem in the present tense, remember it always prefixed with the letter mem. Ha'ak mishaber. The brother is, because remember, is understood in Hebrew. Ha'ak mishaber. The brother is shattering what? What are we looking at this word here? This is the letter Hey. All right? This serves as a prefix. Hey, ha, which means the. Okay? Then you have kuf, resh, and pet. All right? This kuf here takes the segol. And this resh takes a pamas. Pardon me, a patak. Ha kwerach. Ha kwerach. This is the letter chet. What does that mean? Ha kwerach. The word kwerach, brothers and sisters, means what? Ice. I-C-E. So what are we saying? Ha'ak mishaber ha-kwerach. The brother is shattering the ice. The brother is shattering the ice. Ha'ak mishaber ha-kwerach. So that's what we just want to point out in that particular regard. All right. So let's continue with the next sentence and see how the verbs work and what we're dealing in the aspect of conversation. Now, remembering this word here, right? We see the same exact word right here. So let's just put the vowels in and move on. Ha, kwerak. Ha kwerak, the ice. Okay? Mem, sheen, bet, resh. Mem, sheen, bet, resh. This is why we emphasize, all right, that Hebrew has to have vowels, because the meaning and definition and translation of each of these sentences is not the same exact thing. All right. So if everything were to be said by some as ah or periodically an I, when you see the letter iron, all right, that right there doesn't give you the aspect of passive, active, and in certain cases, past tense or future tense or present tense. All right. Or what aspect are you speaking? Intensifying it? Is it simple or is it so forth as passive or reflexive? So that's why it's important that we want to emphasize that Hebrew, though written in an ancient form, didn't have written vowels. Ancient Israelites did not learn Hebrew like you see in on the board here. They learned it from birth. So heaven forbid they were illiterate, they still knew how to speak their language. So that's something we want to point out for edification purposes. We today go through classes like this as teenagers and adults. You understand? Because we are learning how to see it and then commit it to memory, as opposed to a baby who hears it, such as in the case of ancient Israel, where they would have been able to sit there and hear it and commit it to memory. That's something I just want to point out in that particular regard. So we see here, hakwerak, mem, sheen, bet, resh, right? Hakwerak bashbar. Hakwerak, the ice, is, we already remember, is already understood in Hebrew. Mashbar is being crushed. This is the present tense of the hafal stem as we went over in lesson number 47. All right? Hakwerak mashbar, the ice is being shattered, is being. This is the passive, is being. The action is being done to the ice. All right? So I want to emphasize, just stopping real quick, the difference between passive and active. He feel is active. Haf'al or huf'al, okay, is it passive. So let's look at this marker here. This is passive. This pen is active. All right. So that's the distinction you may say between active and passive. So when we're saying hakwerak mashbar, the ice is being shattered, is being crushed. The ice is being crushed. All right. Mem, aleph, ket. You go back to lesson 15, you remember mem and what prefix that holds. All right. Hakwera mashbar me'ak. the ice is being crushed from or by a brother. The ice is being crushed by a brother. From a brother, the ice is being crushed. So this is what we want to point out in these sentences here. Ha'ak mishaber hakwerak. The brother is shattering the ice. Hakwerak mashbar me'ak. The ice is being shattered, is being crushed by a brother. All right. So that's something we want to point out, and for edification purposes, brothers and sisters. Let's go on, if we will. All right. Here we see, once again, as up here, the Hee, the Aleph, and the Het. The Hee serving as a prefix. We're going to go ahead and put the patak there. You get the ha sound, the ha'ak. The brother. Just as here means the brother, it also means the brother here. Okay? Ha'ak. You have mem, aleph. Kaf, yod, lamed. Now, this right here, brothers and sisters, is a hifil verb stem. This mem, as we stated when we went over the hifil stem, the present tense, the mem, serves as a prefix. So if you were to drop that mem off, you have the aleph, the kaf, the yod, and the lamed. Akil. Now, let's understand something. This yod serves as an interjection between the second and third root letter. So if you want to take the yod out after dropping the mem off, you have aleph, kaf, and lamed, which is the word akal. The word akal means to eat or to dine, D-I-N-E. So ha'ak. Now let's look at this word here. Mem, aleph, kaf, yod, lamed. Now I stated that this is a hifil stem verb. Now remember, the hifil in many cases, as in this one, is the causative of the qual. So aleph, kaf, lamed, akal means to eat in the qual stem. So if it's causing something in the hifil, ma'akil means feed. All right? Akal in the aspect, brothers and sisters, of the qual means to eat. Ma'akil, present tense, means to feed. You're causing one to eat. All right? Because remember, the hifil is the causative of the qual in over 90% of the cases. Ha'ak, ma'akil. Ha'ak, ma'akil. Ma'akil. The brother is feeding. The brother is causing to eat. Because when you feed someone, you're causing them to eat. Now, let's look at this next word here. You have aleph, waw, resh, het, yod, waw. Now, this is not a verb, it's actually a noun. Now, it may look weird in the spelling, but this is what we want to review and go over. All right? Now, let's look at this here. You have aleph, waw. So if we were to just look at that, going back to lesson number 4, what will we gain? Either it's an U or an O. In this case, it's an O. Okay? O. This resh takes a shawah. So that's or. Remember, with the shawah, you join it with beforehand, going back to lesson number 6 on that one, and then continue with the rest of the word. Or, get, yod. Wow. What can we glean from that? All right? Kiowa. Or Kiowa. So let's look. Ha'ak ma'akil or Kiowa. Now, this yod and wow over here serves, brothers and sisters and elders included, all right, as a suffix, but it shows the possession of this word here. So if you just were to drop off this suffix of the yod and the wow, you have the aleph, the wow, the resh, and the ket. Leaving that alone, there's o re'ach. Ore'ak means guest, like a guest in your house, like you're inviting somebody as a guest. All right. So or chayawa would mean what? His guest, plural. Remember when we went over the word akot, which means sister, and then you have yotayawa, his sisters. Go back to like lesson number 32 to lesson number 35. All right. Ak means brother. And then you have Ekayawa, his brothers. So this Iowa sound in Hebrew dealing with the aspect of the possessive of nouns shows it to be his whatever plural. Yadayawa, his hands. All right. Komotayawa, his walls. All right. Maftakayawa, his keys. All right. Sakwayawa, his bags. All right. Sifraiwa, his books. So this IW sound at the end serves his whatever when you pluralizing it, his whatever. That's what we want to talk about in that particular regard. So we see how Akma Akil Orakayawa, the brother is feeding Orakayawa, his guests. The brother is feeding, causing to eat his guests. That's what we want to point out in that particular regard. Now, let's continue on in this particular aspect. All right. Here we have, once again, our friend here, the letter Hey. We see hey, 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 hey. Well, this one is a little different. I'm jumping the gun. Let's move back. But anyway, we have it right here, right? Ha. Again, all right? Again, we have the Resh following here. So when you have that join there, you just do just that. You join it because of the shawah, and then you continue reading with the rest of the word. Ha'or Qim. Ha'or Qim. Ha'or Qim. The guest. The guest. Plural. All right? Orkayo, his guest. Ha'or Qim means the guest. Now, some Israelites actually would say his guests as Orakim Shalom, which means guests that belong to him. There's nothing wrong with it. All right. However, when we're dealing with the aspect of conversation, and I hesitate to have to get quote unquote racial, I want to show something. I'm what you call, even though my skin tone is brown, I'm what you call a black man. That's a whole nother subject about black and brown. But getting back into this, European Jews have actually told us that we speak Old Hebrew or Biblical Hebrew on the strength or on the concept that we don't say in most cases Ha'orkim Shalom or Orkim Shalom or Yad Shali. We say Yadi or Yadai. All right. So when they speak, they would say try to make up a word to have a word for, let's say, Brooklyn or Bronx or so forth. We don't do that. We just say Ani Halakti Le'edis Brooklyn. But we know Brooklyn is not a Hebrew word. All right. So this is just something we want to point out. Now, I want to say, and being fair, that in the Tanakh, in the Bible, in the Old Testament, you do see where they have transliterations, because who they refer to as Nebuchadnezzar in the Tanakh is not his name by birth. His mother or father did not name him Nebuchadnezzar. That is the Hebrew transliteration of his Babylonian name. All right. So that's just something I want to point out. So that's what we want to point out in that particular regard. All right. So let's move on in this particular case. Ha'orachim. Now, what are we seeing right here? Aleph, Kaf, Lamed, Wow. What can we glean? You have Aleph, Kaf, Lamed. Now, remember, in many cases, the last letter, in many cases, usually serves as a prefix, pardon me, a suffix. In many cases, not all, the first letter serves as a prefix. Not in this case with this word here, however, but that's just a rule we want to throw out there as a sometime aspect. Sometimes the first letter of a word serves as a prefix, and sometimes the last letter of a word serves as a suffix. We want to point that out. So here we see right here, Aleph, Kaf, Lamed, Wow. So if you were to drop the suffix of the Wow, you get Aleph Kaf Lamed. Aleph Kaf Lamed. Aleph Kaf Lamed. Follow the pen. Aleph Kaf Lamed. Akal, to eat. So now you already know they're speaking about the third person plural. So it's not akal as much as it's correctly said as what? Aklu. Ha orachim. Aklu. The guest, they ate. The guest ate. You wouldn't really correctly say ha orachim akal, because in Hebrew, you happen to have the verb to agree with the noun. And that's how you know in Hebrew, the Hebrews understood when they said, Yodhe Wahe Hu Ha Elohim. The Lord, He is God. Not Yodhe Wahe Hem Ha Elohim. There is no more than one Yodhe Wahe. And Elohim in the book of Exodus, chapter 20, said that He is Yodhe Wahe. So henotheism gets no love in the house of Israel. Henotheism gets no props, respect, or clout or recognition with those who are subscribed to the Torah. All right? Because when you go to Exodus chapter 20, the verb that says, and God spoke in Hebrew in Exodus chapter 20 is the third person masculine singular, not third person masculine plural. Vaydaber Elohim, not Vaydabru. All right? So this is what we want to point out. So let's look at this right here. Ha'orakim aklu, the guests ate. The guests, they ate. Right? Here we have our friend here, the letter He as a prefix. Ha, ma, zon, hamazon, Zion, wow, nun sofi. Aklu hamazon. They ate what? Hamazon means what? The food. The guests, they ate the food. Ha'akma akil or chayu. The brother is feeding his guests. The guests ate the food. The sentences, as you might see, is this one connects with this one connects with this one, and that's what I wanted to point out for edification purposes. All right, we already know that mazon means food. All right, now let's look at this fifth sentence here. Once again, we have our friend here to prefix the letter He. Ha. Mem, shin, pei, het, he. Many Israelites looking, already understanding mishpachah. Correct. The word mishpachah means what? Family. That's what it means, family. All right? Hamish Pacha, the family. Hamish Pacha, the family. All right? Now, let's look at this here. This next word here. You have Bet, Ket, Wow, Zadeh, Sofit. Bet, Ket, Wow, Zadeh, Sofit. What are we looking at? Bet, in this case, does, and I don't mean to sound double talking, it does and does not serve as a prefix. You can't say it is, and you don't have to say that it is. That's what I'm saying in that particular regard. Now, this bet here in pronunciation is said as ba. All right, ba. Het, while zadeh sofit. This is not coats. This is not kawats. This is koots. So it takes the dagesh within it. Hamishpaka bakuts. Hamishpaka bakuts. The family. And what does bakuts mean? Anybody? I know I ain't going to be able to see what you're typing or what you're saying, but it means outside. All right? Kuts means outside. Bakuts means in outside or with outside. That's why I'm saying that you can say this is the aspect of a prefix, but you don't have to. Okay? Hamishpaka bakuts. The family is already understood. Bakuts outside. You have the letter He in the mem sofit. This is not a prefix. This is one of the pronouns that we went over. Hem. What does that mean? They, or they are. All right? Hamishpakah Bakut. Hem Ba'im. Hem Ba'im. The family is outside. They are coming. Hamishpakah Bakut. Hem Ba'im. The family is outside. They are coming. Because hem means they or they are. And Ba'im means coming from the Hebrew root word ba, which means to come. All right? So that's something we want to point out in that particular regard. Let's go on. All right? Remember I said earlier I jumped the gun? This is not a hate, that's a prefix. You have this Hey Lamed Kaf. Hey Lamed Kaf. Hey Lamed Kaf. And this wow serves, brothers and sisters, as a suffix. So let's look. Remember when you had the wow over here serving as a suffix? Well, brothers and sisters, the wow over here also serves as a suffix. All right? Halku. All right? Halku. Halku means what? Well, the word halak, brothers and sisters, means to go. So halku means essentially they went. Halku, they went. They went. What are we looking at? Bet Dalet Lamet Tau. This bet does serve actually as a prefix. Halku ba delet. Halku ba delet. They went ba delet in the door. They went in the door. In other words, they went through the door. They went through the door, in the door. All right, that's what we're saying. Halku ba delet, because the word dalet, lamet ta, delet means door. All right, let's move on. We have here wow, noon, kaf, noon, samek, wow. Okay, what are we looking at? This wow serving as a prefix, but it's actually the letter wow, meaning and. All right, noon, kaf, noon, samek, wow. This noon serves also as a prefix within the nif'al stem, as we explained in the past. Lesson 40, lesson 41. All right. So now we have wow, that's a prefix. This noon too is a prefix. All right. You are left with kaf, noon, samek, and wow. Now, as before, many cases, a wow at the end of a word serves as a suffix. So that leaves you dropping off the prefixes and the suffix, the kaf, noon, samet, kanas. This is where you get the word Knesset from. All right. A lot of Israelites refer to their place of worship as a Knesset. That's spelled as kaf, noon, samet, tau. Next time or so. Okay. Now, dropping off the suffixes in here with the wow and the noon. Kaf, noon, samet, wow. Kansu, kansu. Now, let's look at this noon here. Remembering that this noon here makes this whole word under the nifal stem. The nifal, if you remember, is the passive of the qual. Nik, nik, nas, nik, nas. Nik, nas in root means to enter, E-N-T-E-R, niknas. But we have here the waw. So that's niknesu, niknesu. You can't ignore that waw that's right there, brothers and sisters. So what are we looking at? Looking at the whole word. Remembering that this prefix waw serves for the letter and, or pardon me, the word and. Well, niknesu. That's how you say this word here. Well, niknesu. So what are we looking at? Waw takes shawa. Noon takes the kirik. Wanik nesu. Wanik nesu. And they entered. And they entered. Here we have the letter He, Het, Dalet, and Resh. He, Het, Dalet, and Resh. All right? This letter He does serve as a prefix. Ha. Het, Dalet, and Resh spells the word Cheder. The word Keder is a noun and it means the word room. All right? So what are we saying in translation? Haku badelet with niknesu ha-cheder. They went through the door and they entered the room. They went through the door and they entered the room. That's how you expound upon that particular case. Ha'ak mishaber hakwera. The brother is shattering the ice. Hakwerak mashbar me'ak. The ice is being crushed by a brother. Ha'ak ma'akil orhayo. The brother is feeding, is already understood, his guests. Ha'orhim aklu hamazon. The guest ate hamazon, the food. Hamishpaka bakut. The family is outside. Hem ba'in, they are coming. Haku badelet. They went through the door. Waniknesu ha'cheder. And they entered the room. So what can we point out, brothers and sisters, for edification purposes? All right? Let's understand something. I'm going to, as in before, write down the translation of what we're looking at. All right? The brother. Let me use a different color because I don't know if the red is going to work out its best or be the best. All right? So let's see. Ha'ak, the brother, is already understood. Is already understood. Is shattering the ice. All right? Hakwerak, the ice, is being, present tense, passive hofal, is being crushed. Me'ak, by a brother. Remember, a as well as is already understood in Hebrew. All right? Ha'ak, the brother. Ma'akil, feeds or is feeding. All right? Ha'ak ma'akil orchayu, his guests. All right? Ha'orakim, the guests. Aklu, they ate. Hamazon, the food. All right? Hamishpakah, the family. Hamishpakah, Bahut, is outside. Hem Ba'im, they are coming. All right? How cool. They went through or by the door. When Nick Nusu, and they entered, Hacheder, the room. All right? Now, verb. Now, verb. Now, verb. Now, verb. Now. Outside, I'm gonna just say it's adjective because it's describing where it's at. All right. Person, place, maybe it's a noun because outside. All right, we're gonna move on. Pronoun, him, ba'in, verb, coming, verb, noun, verb, noun. Giving honor and praise to the creator and the maker of heaven and earth. My name is Yeshaya Yisrael. This concludes the first part of this lesson. Hebrew lesson number 48. Review purposes for conversation. There will be a part 2 that will be loaded up within an hour or so because we're going to close this class, and then in about maybe 20 minutes on this same channel, we're going to start again with part 2 of this. Shalom.